We are here at the Biohacking Conference talking to Peter Crone, who is like the king of freedom, right?
Yes, indeed.
We put it that way.
I like that.
Yeah, we loved hearing your talk yesterday, discovering more about you, and I don't think there was one thing that came out of your mouth that didn't truly resonate with me as somebody who tries every day to live with vitality and to live the longest, healthiest life possible. So Thank you for what you do.
That's
I
beautiful
loved what
reflection.
Thank you. I love what you said yesterday about you can't truly have vitality until you free your mind.
Correct.
If there's something that you could share with people on our channel, that's just one thing that will really make a huge impact, what is that?
Yeah, okay, so I'll expand on that. So fundamentally here we're at the Biohacking Conference with all the toys. People could drop hundreds of thousands of dollars on the biggest pieces of equipment, but unless you free yourself from these subconscious constraints that create suffering, which is synonymous with dis-ease, the absence of ease,
Yes.
which then eventually will cascade through your physiology and manifest as sickness. So that's why I'm saying unless you get rid of these limitations that we're born with, trauma, whatever it is that we go through, creates this feeling of being limited, inadequate, insecure, coming from scarcity. Then you can do all of the exogenous things, but it's really fighting a nervous system that's already in the state of fight or flight.
And what's your number one tip that you give people in order to do that?
I'm not much of a tip guy, I'm more of a dissolution guy. As I said in this video, I don't solve problems, I dissolve them. So it's first you have to start with awareness. Carl Jung had a beautiful quote, he said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will drive your life and you'll call it fate. So you want to bring that which you're oblivious to, which isn't easy because it's a blind spot.
Yeah.
But you bring it to the surface typically by looking at the things you went through as a kid. Obviously, we all go through stuff, some really traumatic and some pretty benign, but it still leaves an impression where we feel we're not good enough, we're not loved, we're not safe, we're not wanted, we're not special, whatever your version is, usually a not. Right? So it's a not in your psyche, but it's a negation of yourself. And so when you discover that, then you want to investigate the validity of it, is what I say. So is it true that you're not good enough? Yeah, your brother was a better athlete, your sister was a better academic, and you use that as evidence to feel less than, but it's not a truth. And so freedom is breaking out of these lies about yourself. So it starts with awareness. And sometimes you need a good friend, someone who can mirror. Okay, you've got this theme. You attract a bad partner in relationships. You can't seem to make money. You can't find health in your body. What is it? And then find the underlying fear that's associated with that. And that will be commensurate with some sort of limiting belief about yourself. So it's pretty simple, really.
Pretty simple, super powerful, super powerful.
Yeah.
How do you start your day?
Typically, I hope to wake up. There was a line in that movie, Best in Show, the spoof on the dog.
Yeah.
It was a great line. This woman said, I woke up this morning. I was so glad. So that's how I like to start my day. But otherwise, some of the typical, if you really want to get into the minutiae, I do tongue scraping, I do oil pulling.
I do want the minutiae.
Okay.
It's really important.
Yeah, tongue scraping just to get rid of any toxicity from previous night's food. Oil pulling to help my oral microbiome. Hopefully a good bowel movement. In Ayurveda we say that's the morning newspaper to see what's going on in the body. And then I'll do some hydration, and then I'll typically start to move my body. I like to get outside, try and get some natural sunlight, which everyone should know about these days, and then go about my day bringing more freedom to the world.
Excellent. What do you do to stay in such great shape?
To me, it's what I don't do.
Okay.
my friends are like, dude, how come you're so ripped? What do you do?
I don't eat shit. Right?
Yeah, I don't eat shit. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't stay up late watching TV. But what I do is I love all of the sports and activities. I'm a tennis player, a golfer, a skier. I do high intensity interval training, I do yoga, Pilates, I hike, I bike. Just take care of myself.
Excellent. Is there a non-negotiable you can't live without?
Oxygen. Breathing.
That's a good one.
I found that's pretty helpful.
We're at the Biohacking Conference. So is there one tool here that you truly love and use every day?
This. Connection.
Connecting with people.
Yeah. That's why I feel so blessed. I've been stopped every day, probably within 5 minutes, by people who are just so grateful and thankful for my work. And that to me is the greatest form of vitality. All the other stuff I can live without.
But do you cold plunge?
I do. I have a creek fortunately, so I got a natural cold plunge.
Lovely.
It's a little bit colder than I would be
That's the
like.
best way to do it, then.
Yeah.
What
It's
about
amazing.
sauna?
I do sauna, I do cold plunge, I do red light. I'm not super consistent with all of it. I think it's supplementary to, as I said, as we started this conversation, I live from a place of freedom, which to me is the closest access to true vitality.
Have you ever sunned your butthole?
Maybe unconsciously, spontaneously, unwittingly. Yeah, I've definitely, I mean, I don't know how detailed we're going to get here, but I know guys love to lie there with their sort of happy baby position. I haven't quite got to
Yeah,
that.
but maybe
It's
tomorrow morning.
It's a little cold where I live right now. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you for the
That
conversation
was great.
and
I really
bringing up my
appreciate it.
butthole in social media.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you.